Hi everyone, Amy here, yourwifilife.com, looking at day 2 of my 90-day video challenge. So, feeling a bit more human today. Probably don't look it. Let's look at the, oh yeah, there are the black bags, they're still there. I'll stand back a bit. So, today is Sunday, and it's my first Sunday since leaving my job, which means that I'm not looking down the barrel of another week of work and dreading Monday morning. And I had a bit of an epiphany today that I thought I would share, which is making a distinction in the things in your life that you dread versus the things that you fear, and perhaps the definition that you're giving to those things, and things that you think you're dreading, perhaps you need to start looking at them as a fear. And the reason I say that is because I think a lot of us, I didn't hate my job, but I certainly got that anxiety and that's a little bit of a sinking feeling on a Sunday night that you've got to go back to work on Monday. And I think even if you love your job, there's always a little bit of that. But telling yourself you dread something, and this is, like I say, something I've realised recently, you're telling yourself that there's a predetermined outcome. So, you know, if you're dreading going to work, but you're still going to do it because the consequence of not doing it is you get fired, you don't get paid, whatever. Whereas if you look at something from a perspective of a bit of fear, there's usually an alternative outcome, and you're looking at it with two different options. So different analogies would be, for example, things that I thought of earlier. You dread your first gym session after Christmas because you've eaten too much, you drunk too much, it's going to be really hard, so you're dreading it. Whereas there is a choice. If you fear it, you can look at it and go, well, I either go to the gym or I don't. I'm a bit apprehensive, but do I not go? I cannot go and stay fat. Or, you know, you're dreading the conversation with a boyfriend or girlfriend, partner, friend, whoever, because you want to break up with them, and you're dreading it. But actually, you're just not really looking forward to it. There is an alternative. Just don't have the conversation. Stay unhappy. Stay with that person. Or what else did I think of? A bungee jump or a skydive. If you're standing on that platform with a bit of elastic tied around your feet and you're going, oh shit, what am I doing? There is usually an alternative. However, when you fear something and you choose to do it anyway, and there is a book by that title, I think, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Susan something, I think. It's very popular anyway. Great book. If you start looking at those things as a fear instead, and there's the alternative, you start to think, what is the worst that can happen? And probably don't use the bungee jump analogy in this example, but I started looking at my job as, what's the worst that can happen if I don't go anymore, rather than dreading it. And the long and the short of it is, as you know, I ended up making that decision to quit. But I think you need to start changing your language if you've got things in your life that you dread, because the likelihood is if you dread something and you keep doing it, it's probably causing some degree of destruction in your life. And for me, that was continuing to go to work to a degree, dreading it. I was exhausted, my health was suffering, my happiness was suffering, which ultimately was not acceptable. If you are in a toxic relationship and you're dreading having that conversation, but you keep having the conversation, you dread it every time, something probably needs to change. So that's the kind of epiphany I've had today. I'm not dreading anymore. I'm definitely a little bit of fear, but it's a hell of a lot nicer to feel a bit of fear and excitement than that sinking feeling of I'm not looking forward to Monday, which, let's face it, is a terrible way to be, because you're basically saying you don't want to make the most of another day of your life that you've been blessed to have. So I'm not going to get all deep, but it's just something that I thought of today. So if there's anything in your life that you're dreading, try and look at it as a fear, see if there's an alternative, ask yourself what's the worst that can happen, figure it out. Hope that's been of some value. I look forward to going through my list of topics that's slowly starting to develop. It's a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing more of your videos and seeing you in day 3. Take care. Bye.